conference will now be recorded.
Go ahead, Mike.
Is everything the same
Mike, you were.
on the agenda as what was emailed out last night?
Everything the same on the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Vader City Council. It is 6:04 p.m. on May 7th, 2025. Roll call.
Jason Daly.
Here.
Randy Hall.
Yeah.
Mike Parsons.
Here.
Michael Ferguson.
He is not online. I think he said he was probably going to be absent. So.
Mayor Shy.
Here. I am the show. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for all. Mayor's report, the comprehensive plan update. Hopefully, folks noticed that the planners did have a booth at May Day. They were public about different comprehensive plan items. They received a lot of good input, and so that'll be put into the comprehensive plan as it comes to fruition. On May Day, congratulations and thank you to the May Day committee for another great year, great weather, which was great to see this year, and a lot of fun to see everyone down there. And also upcoming event, 4th of July committee, contact Ken Joslin if you would like to join the committee. They've got a lot of work coming up, and they could use some more volunteers. Council reports. Any members of the council have anything to report? Okay, moving on to agenda approval.
City Council meeting agenda for May 7th, 2025.
The motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the agenda for May 7th. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, any opposed? Motion carries. 3 ayes. Minutes approval.
I make a motion that we approve the City Council meeting minutes for April 16th, 2025.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the meeting minutes from April 16th, 2025. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Daly. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Voucher approval.
I make a motion that we approve the vouchers for the beginning of May 2025 at $77,000.29.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the vouchers as written. Do we have a second?
Second it.
Second, Mr. Hall. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Special reports, Lewis County Sheriff's Department. Hello, Mr. Rubin.
Good morning, sir. So as far as citizen contacts for the month of April, we're 239. There are 9 shift calls, 19 total calls, 16 traffic stops, 3 infractions, and 1 misdemeanor arrest. Pretty
Thank
quick.
you. Any questions for Mr. Rubin?
Thank you.
And thank you for your presence at May Day. There's a variety of things, so very much appreciated. Are you in tie-dye?
Maybe working on our suntan a little bit.
Yeah.
4th of July committee update.
Okay, so,
Our spokesperson for us.
yes.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. So we've got a few things going on here. Is this an appropriate venue to like ask for help and ask for what you got going on? Like,
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
been to this before, so it's weird.
Whatever you got, hit us.
So first thing is, because we're operating on a shoestring budget, it's going to be very important that we utilize all the online free advertising we can get. One of the best ways, this is all to the citizens as well, if you plan on helping us out here, anytime you see us post anything that has to do, this is city council as well, if you could bump it by commenting it, show some excitement just to get all that free, because there really isn't a budget for this per se. We're creating the budget as we go. So it's extremely important to do as much free stuff as possible. With that being said, right now, do we have any idea of how the money is filtering right now? We've got car show registration coming in through the city website, and the vendor money is as well, right? So people who are going, they are paying whatever their vendor fee is, $45 or something.
Yeah, 60 for
60 for food, yeah, but it's going through the city website. So what we're trying to do is figure out what the money will be used for. We'd like to be able to use that money for the event. That's kind of the idea. Do you have ideas on, I don't know how the system works, basically.
So you want to capture that money in real time and be able to use it
If possible,
for your
yeah.
event?
Yeah. Does that look like money laundering? I don't know. We're trying to make it legit.
It's not money laundering. There's 7 different paper trails along the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's not, especially if it goes to the city website, because then it goes through our payment processor and then just like everything else.
So is there any objection to using the money that comes in for the car show registration and the vendor registration to actually fund the event?
What are your thoughts on that,
Is that
Kristen?
a thing?
So I think it would need to be broken down on what you would need the funds for.
Okay.
Instead of us just handing the money over, it would need to be designated to something. If we ask for donations to come in, we can make a separate line item specifically for.
If they want to donate to that or that or that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you collecting money through the website for the actual fireworks itself as well? Like, what do you guys?
So if people want to donate to the fireworks show, they can donate online, or they can come in and bring a check to us, and then we have it recorded as a separate donation line for
Okay.
4th of July.
So now that we have multiple things going on instead of just fireworks, now it's more important to be able to identify the allocation where that's going to go, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we could create. I'm sure your handiwork can come up with some sort of form for that, or I don't know how.
So
However you
it's
wanna do it.
separated right now too by like how much the car show's bringing in and how
Okay.
much the vendors
The
are bringing
amounts
in.
are.
And if we needed to create an additional item for something, we could do that.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
Because we need to pay for like the bands too.
Yeah, the bands are going to be the most expensive part, just getting some quality entertainment down here. So here's the update, basically. We've got oodles and oodles of people that have committed to bring their hot rods and trucks and RVs and things that are really cool down for a car show. We've got opportunity for 70 vehicles max along that strip right there. That's if we shut down the road in front of the jail as well, if we need. 50 is comfortable, leaves a little room to walk. We've got how many food vendors already? 9 committed, right? How many paid for that you know of? 2 or 3.
They haven't told you first.
Yeah, till June 1st to fill that out. So we're expecting that to come in, but that's a really good, that's a almost too many food vendors almost, but it's just right,
They have to
right?
just right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Yeah, that way the food vendors that are coming can get a bigger piece of the pie coming in. As far as gift vendors,
23, but I just got another application.
so yeah, that's going well. So with the car show, however, we got one paid, right? We got one paid. Again, tons of people committing. So anybody that's listening right now on the interwebs or whatever, if you know somebody that is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, like let's put our money where our mouth is and get these registrations coming in. Only because it makes me nervous. That's all. That's the whole reason. I just don't want to wait till the last second and have like 55 cars show up the morning of and be like, oh, I'm here to register. And be like, ah, great, we got a lot going on. So that's the deal with that. So that's something else we're asking for help for is advertising online. Any chance you get a chance to, pump it up in the community on websites or whatever, Facebook. If you know somebody that's going to participate, get them to register quickly, and then we figured out the vendor bank account thing, it looks like, so that's okay. So we don't need to go open our own bank account for that, do we?
No, but I would need a vote from council to approve using what was donated this year to the band or whatever you guys break down. And we cannot put the money out unless it's came in. So if vendors
Sure.
say they're going to pay, we can't pay the
Correct.
band based off of that. We need those funds in prior to.
Well, and luckily bands don't get paid until, the day of. So they show up, they finish, they get the check.
As far as starting to get that money to your group, is that something that we need, that you need like immediately, or could we wait 2 weeks to the next council meeting, have it on the agenda?
Yeah, it can wait till the event, actually.
Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll put it on the next agenda.
Yeah.
And then council can vote that the money that's been coming in can be for the events, registrations can be routed back to the event for your expenses.
Right.
So we'll add that to the agenda in 2 weeks.
So far it's shaping up to be a really good, it'll be $1 million event that we're gonna put on for zero, almost nothing, it's gonna be pretty cool. So we're hoping anyway, we'll see.
Okay. And then if you have any other questions about that or any other brainstormings we have,
just pop
we can talk about it in the next couple of
We'll stick it
weeks
on there, yeah.
and figure out the right method to get that to you. So
Anything else?
as you said, it doesn't look funky.
Oh yeah, we'll be advertising the newspapers as well, write up a couple articles, big banner on our fence on B Street, just because it's visible, so.
Can we have,
No, go for it.
we have decorations for the 4th of July past events that we use for the city?
Do we have decorations, city decorations? We have some banners.
We should have a banner, a big
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, we
4th of July
usually
banner.
hung them like on the. Yeah, we have some banners that we hang, like maybe Ken Joslin hung it on his fence. We had one
Okay, cool.
on the fence by the school
Great.
facing the highway. So
That's great.
we have some banners.
Who do we talk to take a look at those and put them up?
You already talked to the person.
Oh, you?
I think
Okay.
I don't know if they're in my garage or if they're in the city garage.
Okay, all right.
John might have them in the city garage.
All right.
I don't know. We have so many banners, circus
There's
and
also
4th
a corn,
May Day.
I made
They
a
go wherever.
cornhole banner, one of the years. I don't know if you want to do a cornhole tournament, but there should be a big banner
That's
for a
interesting.
cornhole tournament also.
Oh, our last ask, if anybody has access to a somewhat sizable PA system, rather than renting or me having to go buy a full setup. And that's not directed to you necessarily, Mike, by the way, that's, but we're looking for 2 main speakers and then maybe two monitors, and then, probably at least an 8-channel mixer, up to 24 would be fine, but anything like that would be good. Especially if there's amps built in, or it doesn't matter, we'll figure it out, but.
What were some of these for May Day?
That was Mike Parsons, his personal DJing setup, That's pretty cool. Mackey's a good friend.
Yep.
So anything else we need to ask for? Or, all right, that should be it. Any other questions?
No.
All right, cool.
So you guys looking at, you're having band, beer garden, events, vendors and everything during the day downtown. And then in the evening, switch it up and then have stuff up at the school in the evening like normal.
So that's a good question. So what we've been tossing around is bands until 9. But down by the thing, is that suitable? And then everybody just migrates up to the fireworks show?
So several people on May Day have come up to me and asked me about handicap parking on the 4th. And so the last year, firework parking was less than desirable for those that have handicap needs. So my thought was to keep everything down so that the school could be used strictly for people to park and watch the fireworks show. But whatever.
Yeah, unless there's a better idea, like,
Yeah.
open
Just
for
because
suggestions on, because we're making this up as we go, kind of.
Many people have brought it up, like it's not just a few. So-
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, and it was almost, it's first come, first serve is kind of what it was
Right.
up there. People start showing up early. They'll start showing up 7, 8 o'clock. So.
Are we planning on closing D Street this year?
Not for our needs, we don't need to close B Street or D Street at all. Just A Street and 6th.
Because, okay, there were so many people on D Street and people were still trying to drive through there.
Oh, maybe we should.
And
But for the vendor event and for the downtown, need, like all of our needs for the community will be downtown.
Interesting, because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Parking.
Right.
But maybe make it handicapped only on D Street.
Right.
You know, like from D Street on, make everything handicapped.
That's interesting.
So in council's packet is the application for this event. And one of the requests on there was for them to consider having the school parking lot have designated handicap parking. Great. And if council chooses to close down D Street, that's something that we can add in that as well if they want to do that for safety reasons.
Okay.
So if there's any objections to holding all the events down below and then just the last second, everybody migrates up to the fireworks. If anybody has any other ideas on that, then yeah, we're all ears for that. Because like I say, we're making it up as we go here, so. Yeah. Keep us-
if you block off D Street and you fill up the school parking lot and D Street, doesn't that give you about the same amount of space? And then you don't have to have everybody move?
But the beer garden can't be up there.
Yeah.
I like the idea of moving, I think it's
Like migrating up there toward the end.
good, it's not
Yeah.
public comment time like that.
Well, what kind of traffic control are you having if everybody's walking up the road,
Yeah.
People
I mean,
can drink in and stuff?
It's crazy, it's convenient, it's still right on the it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just sit in my front yard and watch.
Yeah, but stop the entertainment.
Is there another meeting coming up where it can be discussed some more?
In ours or yours?
Yours.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, ours is
it's
coming in
gonna-
June, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll figure it out, yeah.
Okay.
You
So,
guys have a date and a time?
for our meeting,
You have anything worked out for the traffic control that night?
so if you got something, let us know, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
7th Street.
Okay. Thank you for that. Public comment. Any members of the public have any comment tonight? Please come up to the podium, state your name and do what you like.
Oh, dances.
My name is Elizabeth Hicker. I live outside of the town itself, and in 2006, I was the chair for Vader Citizens League. Vader Citizens League was developed and began very well with a man who lives at the old house that a lot of you have gone to the end of the street to see. It's the old Olson house. And he no longer is available to do that. And so he is not there. He's in housing. So along with that is that in 2006, we did have our centennial, our 100-year centennial. And along with that, there was a lot of leftover. And I'm a leftover because I'm old. So anyway, I have hung on to this for quite a few years, in fact, 19 years. And I no longer wish to keep it and try to sell it. It belongs to you. It belongs to Vader. And there are a lot of things in here. And the other thing that I wanted, so we have a lot of stuff in here. I'm gonna leave this here. There are 3 pictures that were painted by, I have to find your name here. Jeanette, I can't find my writing. So anyway, she painted these beautiful pictures. They were given to me and they belong here. They're of the old pictures and they are oil. They will last a long time. Keep your hands off of them and the children too, because you don't want to mess them up. So they are also here. I'll show you one. They're heavy and big. Got it? Okay, there you go. All right, this is one of them. This is the number 18 school, and it is from here. Now, there's some older ones that are in, that I have pictures of that are in here, so that you have more availability to them. And those need to be here, and they belong to the citizens of Vader, okay? So I want you to have those. And they are by Jeanette Pruitt. That's what it was. We did that quite a few years back. And there are also some old cards and some old stuff. There are some old 2006 calendars in here that never sold. And now they are things that you may want to keep as a gift or just keep them because over time they'll be really good. The book, I would suggest if you're going to be doing anything with selling or having, in what you're doing, is that you get a lot of these out and have them available for sale. And that way you'll bring in some more income. And that's about all. Is there any questions? Good, because I wasn't going to answer.
Oh, no. Who has the ability to print more copies of that?
I'm sorry?
Who has the ability to print copies of that book?
With this right here?
Or do you have
any
digital
copies?
files, or do you digital files, or is it?
I'm sorry, I can't hear very much.
Do you have digital copies of, like, files of this, or
I
is it
gave
just?
the digital copies here, and if they're not here, then I don't know.
They are here.
We have it.
Parks Board sells them for the fundraiser.
Okay, good.
That we got.
Otherwise,
Proceeds will be taken to parks.
I don't have them anymore. I gave the rights to the town rather than for me to keep it.
Yeah, they said they have them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that book belongs to you. The next book that comes along, we'll still be working on for maybe a year or two. There's a lot of digging into, a lot of information that has to be found, and someone is going to help me, right?
We have volunteered, yes.
Yeah, good. And that book will be basically more of the original people who came here in the beginning. We know that this whole area was under the Indian reservation. In fact, several different tribes. And that was also interesting to look up. And the other thing is, we do have bits and pieces of is it mammoth? The elephants? The old ones? Yeah. We have them here. In fact, along my creek, several of them have been found. And so there's a lot of history, historic history. And the other thing is, did you know that the old train trestle, when they started digging for water to fill the old trains that ran on whatever it was called, was, guess what kind of water? Salt water. When our daughter put her well in on our road where we live, it was salt water. So that also lets you know that this whole area was under the sea at one time. And we also, in that area, and a few areas around here, especially the mountain, if you go up to Abernathy Hill, do not make a fire because you'll never put it out, okay? It's all coal. We live on coal. Our water is coal water. It stinketh, it tastes horrible, and it messes up your clothes clothes when you wash it. But there's a lot of interesting things yet to go through and to put as a story for your families, for you, and whomever you want to share with. So the question that I have before I quit, and I'm female and I go on and on, is if you know of anyone who has history or old pictures, this book I was only allowed 80 sheets to do it. And I have probably 200 sheets that are yet ready to put in another book. But I still need history. I still need information. Yes.
Well, when we tore into our house, we own the old doctor's office. We found his sign. And I have a newspaper article on him.
Really?
Yeah, we are donating the sign to the city once it was in pieces. We're gonna put it together. But we have Dr. Putnam's sign.
Terrific.
So I would love to know the history of the Putnams.
Yeah.
But we have an article on him and his son.
Terrific. Was that in the newspaper?
No, oh, with the newspaper, yes, but someone sent it to me. So,
Okay. Did you know that this town once had their own newspaper?
I wonder,
Yeah,
I
they did.
can see what the article was. Yeah, I believe it. But yes, I have the article on him and we found his sign.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
So as a group, knowing that you want to let the history of this town be noticed and known, rather than it be calling a dead town, which a lot of people have done in the past and in the papers, old papers, and in books and everything else. We're not a ghost town. No. We're a living town. And so that's, it's wonderful. So anyway, I'm done. I'm a female. I know I have to quit.
Well, Liz, thank you for your continued support of trying to log the Vader history. We really appreciate it.
You're very
Thank
welcome. And don't remember that a lot of that had to do with David.
I know, it was a team effort back in the day, and you're continuing the push, so.
I found
appreciate
out
it.
where he is at, and I'm going to visit him tomorrow.
Okay.
He's a good man.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
More public comment tonight?
Pardon?
Sorry. So I just have questions as a follow-up to last month's meeting in regards to the annexation of the properties west of the Oliqua. So from Dollar General up to Winlock, Vader Road. So first question is, in that with a couple of our discussions, I've kind of lost track of understanding where urban services currently are, so sewer and water. So from what I understand, water is all the way out to Dollar General. Sewer is to Little Crane.
There's sewer to the industrial building. I don't believe Little Crane has sewer, however.
Okay.
But they could get access to it if they wanted to.
So my question in regards to the annexation is, where are those planned services planned to be extended to? So where is water planned to be extended and where is sewer planned to be extended?
There are no plans to extend. At least not that have been discussed yet.
So from what I understand, there's been a couple of challenges that have been brought up, either in pumping sewage uphill needing a pump station, or in crossing the Oliqua needing to go either via bridge and or under.
Well, that's correct. So water's already, the water system already extends all the way out to Winlock Vader Road. And so that's not really a problem to get water further than that. Sewer is different because we would have to, put in a line across the creek somehow. And there would have to be a pump station over there someplace to move it under the tracks and to our wastewater plant. There is the industrial building that's there. They do have their own small private pump station that goes under the tracks already. So there is precedent for it. It already exists, but it is just for their facility.
Okay. Has there been any cost analysis on what it would take to get those across?
No. There's been no work on it at all.
So then my final question is Vader allowed to annex lands that are not being serviced by public utilities?
Yes, we can. I believe there needs to be long-range plans for how you're going to get urban services to those areas. And so that would be part of the overall annexation document.
So,
but we're not there yet.
I bring this question to you from Mindy from Lewis County Long Range Planning.
Mindy Brooks, yeah.
Correct. And so according to Mindy, the city must demonstrate that they can provide urban services, including municipal water, sewer, transportation, and stormwater to the UGA within 20 years. And while it's appropriate to assume that a future developer will be responsible for building out infrastructure, extension of urban services to the site and capacity within the system to provide adequate levels of services must be demonstrated prior to annexation.
Yeah, it needs to be in the plan. So there needs to be some verbiage in there about that.
So have the funds been identified for the challenges that have been proposed?
No, we're not there yet in the annexation process.
So when does the community have access to the capital facilities plan to indicate when those will be updated?
Well, the capital facilities plan is always available. It's out of date. It's being updated as part of the comprehensive plan. That could be provided to you as a document requested anytime. But it is being updated as part of the comprehensive plan.
Okay. Well, those are my questions, and I'll go back to Mindy and see what she says. Thank you.
Okay. Any other public comment? No? Okay. Moving on to city business. Council members online, wake up. Get your mute buttons ready. Or unmute as it would be. Item number 1, council to consider nominations for vacant city council position. 1, the term would end this year towards the end of November once the election is finalized. Whoever wins the general election obviously takes that seat as soon as the election is finalized. So I believe we got 2 applications for, correct, 2 applications. Council, you have those applications and you have time to review them. I will open the floor to nominations. So the way this works is that the council will make 1 or more nominations for the council seat. I will then close the nominations and then we will vote on those nominated. So at this time, I open the floor to nominations for the council seat.
I'd like to nominate John Hurt.
We have a nomination from Mike Parsons for John Hurt. Are there any other nominations tonight? I'll ask again, are there any other nominations tonight? Okay, hearing no other nominations, I'll close the floor for nominations. Since there is only one.
Aren't you supposed to ask that 3 times? I thought that was a thing last time we did this.
I thought I could get away with 2 because no one was saying anything. It's not the law that I asked 3 times, but.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay.
No. This is the attorney preferred method, which is long and drawn out and asks that I ask 3 times. But I'll ask another time, Mike. Do you have yet another nomination for city council? All right. Seeing as I've asked at least 3 times now, and there's only 1 nomination, there being only 1 nomination, may I have a motion to appoint John Hurt for council position number 1 to serve until the certification of the next municipal election?
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint John Hurt to the city council position until November.
We have a motion on Mr. Parsons. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded, Mr. Hall.
No.
Any other discussion? Any other motion? Is there any discussion on this topic? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of appointing John Hurt to the city council position, say aye.
Aye.
I heard, and there's Randy. Okay. We have 3 ayes. That is everybody. Congratulations, Mr. Hurt. You gotta come up here now, man. We don't wait, we don't mess around.
Congratulations or condolences?
All right. Try to do this without coughing too much. All right. Repeat after me. I, John Hurt.
I, John Hurt,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
I will support the Constitution and laws
of the state of Washington
of the state of Washington
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America.
and that I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge the duties
perform and discharge the duties
of the city council of the city of Vader,
of the city council of the city of Vader,
according to law and the best of my ability,
to according to the law and the best of the ability.
so help me God.
So help me God. Thank you, sir. Oh,
Now you're gonna get to work.
I get to sit next to the mayor.
Right here. Get you a plaque.
Good looking on board. Whoa.
All right, yeah, I know, some of the chairs leave things to be desired. Feel free to, there you go. All right, moving on to item number 2, council to discuss vacated F Street south of 10th. Excuse me. Not enough to, no, this is more of an update than anything else. We've received, I don't know, it's been about 50% yes, 50% no, and we're still waiting on maybe a third of the residents to respond. So we're still in waiting mode right now. Do we have any comments from council on this before we move on?
I don't. I told one of the neighbors that I will not be voting on this as a council person. But as a citizen and an owner on F Street, I prefer that it goes back to the city.
Understood. Okay, moving on to item number 3, council to consider 4th of July special event application. So this is the special event of application from the 4th of July committee. Hopefully you've gotten a chance to take a look at that. I'm sure you have. Any comments on that?
Can I add something?
So are they going to be talking about having it all down at A Street and then just everybody coming up? Is that the way that it shows now?
That is what's on the application now. Yes.
Yeah, that is what's on the application right now.
And they're shaking their head, yes.
And they, but they were going to be going to their meeting to talk about this more, right?
I think they were going to discuss the D Street issue. Is that subject to change, or are you all pretty pretty
I don't see a reason to change it.
set that that's what we're going to try it this year.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the way we'll try it.
Okay.
Or we'll try it different next year, yes.
Okay, so that seems to be the plan, Mike.
Okay.
We'll be discussing D Street for handicap parking, right? That's what we, okay.
Kristen, you said you had something to add?
Yeah, so on page 5 of the application, we've got the special request listed. We're asking council to consider purchasing another toilet to go next to the beer gardens down on A Street, because we will have two up on where the fireworks are going to be displayed. Also to consider the handicap parking at the preschool. The approval of closing A Street from 7th to 5th and Main Street from B, or 6th Street from Main to B. And then also have council consider if there was a volunteer to man it and we had it safely marked off, would you be okay with opening the jail possibly to show people that are in town? And then D Street would need to be considered closing too, if that's what they're wanting to do.
So all those items are in the application, and so with the approval of the application will come approval of all those sub-items. So I just want to make sure council's aware of that. And yeah, I can work with some folks on the jail, get it open, cleaned up.
Okay.
Any other comments or discussion on the special event application? That includes the road closures and some other items.
If you're gonna have handicap up there at the preschool, it's gonna have to be advertised, because last year we lived there on 7th and E Street. We seen people in wheelchairs and stuff out in the middle of the road. So we're gonna need to have some kind of flyers or something so people know that that's handicap parking.
Well, there'll need to be somebody that is a parking lot monitor to make sure it happens is what would have to happen.
And we'll have to use our cones or barricades to block it off so that people don't come in early and take that parking.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Wasn't that whole parking lot like standing room, pretty much all standing? People were standing in it?
Well, so this last year, that good portion of it was, we had the vendors and the bathrooms up against the old bus garage. There were a variety of parking options in front of the school, directly in front of the school, but I think a lot of the gravel was taken up by some of the features that we had there. We had a few people parked there, but not too many. More discussion? Anything else on this application? We'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the special events application for the 4th of July.
The motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the 4th of July special event application. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Hurt. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Motion approved. Item number 4, council to consider 4th of July special event insurance for $480.30. So this is insurance policy number 1 that the city has for this. And this would be similar to the May Day style event to cover the crowd. If anyone choked on a hot dog or fell off of a curb or something like that. So that's what this policy is for.
The vendors that are applying, are they having to show proof of insurance also with a rider for the city or a certificate?
I don't know, but I believe they get covered in this. Isn't that correct? Yes.
Vendors and the car show was covered in this.
Vendors and the car show would be covered in this policy.
But the vendors themselves don't have insurance?
Not necessarily, maybe some of them might, but if they're selling arts and crafts, maybe not.
And is this is all in our budget that we had set aside already, correct? Then I make a motion that we
Yeah,
approve
we planned it last year.
Yep, okay. I make a motion that we approve the 4th of July special event insurance for $480.30.
Motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the special event insurance. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Hurt. Further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, council to consider 4th of July fireworks insurance for $2,813.25. So this is the event, this is the policy that's exclusive to the fireworks show itself.
And this also was in our budget, correct?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, and we paid this last year. It's a little bit more, I think it's in the couple $100 more, something like that than last year, but
$500 more.
$500 more? $500 more than last year. But yeah, this is the good one that covers us if we burn a house down, so.
I'd like to motion that we approve the 4th of July fireworks insurance for the $2,813.25.
Motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the fireworks insurance. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Daly. Discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, lastly, council to consider the final interlocal agreement with Lewis County 911. So you've seen this a handful of times. We approved it last year, thinking that the county and the cities and the fire districts and everyone had completed it. And at the last minute, they said, no, we have some more changes. And so for the last 5 months, they've been working on a handful of other changes on this interlocal agreement. They don't really impact Vader at all. It has mostly had to do with the way the fire districts interacted with 911. So if we like 911, we'll approve the interlocal agreement.
It's not really an option, is it?
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve the final ILA with Lewis County 911.
We have a motion, Mr. Parsons, to approve the interlocal agreement with Lewis County 911. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Daly. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? That was another one. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's the end of city business. Do we have any elected official comments tonight? All right, this meeting is adjourned at 6:53 p.m.